hot in here. Hold on, Ben.
Hey everyone, welcome to the second episode of the Weekly Geekdome. I am Ben, and with me is my partner in crime, Sharks. How are you doing today, my man?
I am well, sir. That intro every time it gets me hyped. Let me tell you, I'm ready to fight some Chitauri and some Outriders. Let's do this thing, man. I'm here for it.
Man, we're living in a glorious time to be a geek, my friend, aren't we?
Oh, it's perfect time. Got Doctor Strange, the Batman just came out. Thor: Love and Thunder coming out in July. Jurassic Park next month. Black Panther: Wakanda Forever in December. Aquaman possibly. I don't know if that's still gonna happen in December. DC changed everything, but yes, you're right, Ben. It's the perfect time.
Don't forget Top Gun. Top Gun too, my man. Top Gun. Are you?
Can't forget that. Can't forget that. Oh man, I can't wait to see that, man. The aerial flight scenes, Tom Cruise coming back, Val Kilmer in it. I can't wait to see what they're going to do and expanding on this story.
Okay, so I was watching the news last night,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess last night was the Hollywood premiere of Top Gun.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Tom Cruise landed a helicopter at the premiere that he flew.
Con?
No, at the premiere, at the Hollywood premiere for Top Gun.
And he showed up in a helicopter.
He flew a helicopter and landed at the premiere.
Tom Cruise is just. I aspire that Tom Cruise level of just. Tom Cruise is the prime example of not only elevating, but expanding. And this guy's an actor. He's a stuntman. Flies planes, helicopters, jumps from them. The man has no. He should play Daredevil. He is the man without fear. Tom Cruise is officially the man without fear. Like
Daredevil would be afraid of Tom Cruise.
He would be. He would definitely be a friend of Tom Cruise. I agree with that 100% because that right there, I don't understand how he's able to do all the things that he does. I'm just like, man, it's just mind-boggling to me how he's able to do it. And because you got high-paid stuntmen who will take your place all the time and doubles, but he's like, no, I'll go ahead and do it. He goes for authenticity, and I all respect to him for it.
Man, I think he's a vampire. I think that's his secret. I think he's a vampire because the dude, he ages, but he ages very slowly, like a nice glass of wine.
Like a nice glass of wine or a terrible Twilight vampire. Take your pick.
You had to bring up Twilight, man. You had to bring up Twilight.
Look, listen, man. I stand by this. Twilight is a comedy that I have to watch every year. I love it. Just it's so bad, it's good, and I enjoy it. I don't know what it is about Bella walking in the room and Edward catching a whiff of her, and he's just like so disgusted. I'm like, why is this happening? What am I watching? But you know what? Hey, I didn't read all the books. Funny story, real quick before we jump into things. I would read the book. I read the first book somewhat, and I would always fall asleep at chapter 13, which was baseball. For some odd reason, I never got through the baseball chapter. Don't know why, but you know what? I got the movies, and yeah, every year it's like a yearly event for me. Kind of like watching Lord of the Rings every year,
Well, I never seen any of the movies, and I never read any of the books, and I don't have any interest in doing either.
Ben,
maybe one day I'll watch the movies, but I'm not going to read the books.
I think, actually, that's something you should do. We could talk about in the future. If I want to see what you think and get your opinion, do you believe Twilight to be comedies? Are they just terrible? And if you watch them all, I just want to see if you'd watch them again. If they're if you really, I just want to hear your thoughts on them. Honestly, I
You
think
know
you probably
what?
get women out of it somewhat.
You know what? We might have to do a watch along. We might have to do a watch along for their channel.
I'm
I
fine
would
with
be
that.
down for that. I
Yeah,
would be
man.
down for that.
Let's do. I'm already because I feel like you had this idea when we were talking about it last week because it was an idea I was gonna do. Um, watching the Star Wars movies this month. I'm
We can do that.
I'm gonna watch the Star Wars movies this month. If you want to do a watch along, we could do the watch along. I have no problem with that at all. I mean, be great to kind of have somebody guide me through the galaxy far, far away.
I'll do that. Then we'll set something up. Maybe we'll get our friend Don in it and make it a channel funny, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I'd yeah, we could do that. Let's talk about that some more.
Yeah,
Let's talk.
definitely. Alright, so it's light on the news this week. So, but we had an epic finale to Moon Knight. That's just make me the Moonlight episode of the Weekly Geekdome.
Hmm.
You cool with that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, before we get deep into it, what are your overall thoughts about the finale?
All right, so you want me to go first then? Uh,
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. Um, here's what I think about it. I enjoyed the battle sequences. I enjoyed
okay.
seeing Amit on screen. I enjoyed the listen. That Khonshu Amit fight was titanic. I enjoyed every last bit of it. With Mr. Knight and Moon Knight switching up, just going in between, I thought that was really cool. Um, and I can't wait to see how. Are we going spoilers for this?
Yeah. Spoil away, my man.
All right, let's do it. I can't wait to see how Jake gets into all of this because that end credit scene was awesome. But I do have to say, I felt it was rushed. I don't like the 6 episodes being only 6 episodes. I think that this is something that need to be expanded on. They should have did 10. Um, and I'm just like, you know, I kind of got what Chris Carr was saying. Things just were happening, and I'm
Yep,
like, it, yeah, but there's so much more to his character that needed to be wrapped up because now it seems like the way they left it off. I don't know if Jake was gonna be a villain or if Khonshu was gonna be a villain, and then it's gonna be some sort of battle towards the end. Because like, yeah, you stopped Amit, but that could have been your mid-season uh
right.
event instead of your finale. Um, but overall, I mean, as I said, I enjoyed Oscar Isaac. I I actually did enjoy seeing Layla with the wings.
Me too.
I enjoyed seeing that. I just wish, and I'll pass it over to you. I just wish that it wasn't rushed. I wish we got a little bit more. I think there's a lot more they could have expanded on, more that we could have delved into. And Ben, what did you think about it? Maybe I'm missing some things to
You
talk.
know what? Yeah, I hate to say it. I feel almost the exact same way as you. I love the action. Oscar Isaac was amazing. Give him the Emmy nomination now. He needs it.
Absolutely,
But yes, it was rushed. And it's funny. The other MCU shows, other people haven't said it felt rushed, but I didn't feel it. This one, I felt it. This finale felt rushed. Here's my worry. I don't know if I'm getting on season two. I don't know. And if we don't, as somebody who knows nothing about Moonlight, ever from their show, when they introduce Jake at the end, I'm like, this is where you introduce him? Really? Or people who don't know this character, You introduce him in a scene that might not even get the payoff later on down the line.
Hmm.
It really bothered me. Now, I like the fights. I even liked Layla getting the avatar. I like that. But yeah, it felt rushed.
Yeah. I just I think because what they were doing, maybe the writers got so caught up in the mystery of it all, like, oh, this is Moon Knight, and we're talking about dissociative identity, and we're going to be really, really trippy, and have you guessing, what's going to happen here or there, or when are we going to see, I think maybe they got a little caught up in that. I also felt like there was not enough Moon Knight overall. I mean, I love the dynamics that we got with Mark and Steven, but it kind of to make an allegory, like with Daredevil, right?
Yep.
When we get Daredevil in the Netflix show now on Disney Plus, we get Daredevil all the way through. Like it's Daredevil whole
Right.
time, So for and obviously Matt Murdock, we get plenty of time seeing him working the law and all, but like we really explore Daredevil and Moon Knight. I think just was he kind of took a back seat. And I think that if they expanded it a few more episodes, we definitely would have gotten a little bit more of him. I think that the later half of the season would have focused on him really becoming like, yeah, he's Moon Knight, but this would be like, oh no, this is Moon Knight. Like this is him. Um
You know what? You know what it felt like to me? If you don't mind, it felt more like a Mark Spector Steven Grant show rather
mhm.
than a Moonlight show.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree 100% because I just like we spend so much time with them and trying to figure out what's actually going on and this whole the mystery of things and stopping Ahmed and learning about his trauma and backstory and I just really felt like yeah, I just wanted more. It
Yeah.
leaves you wanting more, and it didn't feel like there was it really didn't feel like there was a definitive conclusion. It just felt like, okay, well, boom, there's Jake Lockley at the end. Are you happy now, guys? Like, I mean, no, not really. But then, can we talk about that ending though? But how it was so it's almost like, did you feel like it's okay, so is this a dream within a dream, but the dream is actually the reality of the dream within the dream? If that makes sense?
I it makes sense.
Because it
I
was
don't
just
know, man. Yeah, I don't know.
like
When the whole thing on dreaming in his head, the whole damn scene, and that's all in his head.
that's what I'm trying to figure out. It's like, okay, so the fight ends, and then okay, he wakes up, and it's like, okay, well, he's in. They're switching back and forth. They're able to talk to each other now, right? And he's
And that
leaping.
was cool. That was a great scene in the mental hospital
Oh yeah.
when they were talking to Ethan Hawke. That
Hmm.
was an incredible scene.
That's the part I'm okay. So the fight ends. Then we back in the asylum. Then we're back in not the beginning, but sort of the beginning. And you got Stephen and Mark talking to each other. They're in bed. He leaps out the bed, and then cuts to another mental hospital, but instead it's Harrow in the asylum, and we don't see. I clearly had I was like, this definitely is Oscar Isaac. There's no doubt. You could kind of see his face a little bit, and he wheels him out in the chair.
Right.
And I also like the tribute they did to Bill Sienkiewicz Psychiatric Hospital.
Yeah.
That was cool to see.
Yeah.
Um, but it was just like, so what? That's the thing. What is real? That's what I'm trying to get at here. And do you feel like uh that even though this didn't tie to the MCU, do you feel like there should have been something? Not saying that we have to expect it every time, but there should have been some sort of other involvement when, like, you have gods fighting and souls being
You know
taken.
what? I don't, only because there's a brand new character in the MCU.
Hmm.
So I think it's good for them to leave him isolated for his first outing out.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
I got you because, like,
Like,
you don't.
like if somebody showed up, let's say Hawkeye showed up. I don't know why I said Hawkeye, but let's say he showed up. Then everybody would have been saying how cool it was that Hawkeye teamed up with him. And to me, it would have taken away from Moon Knight, if that makes sense.
See, now I got you. I feel like if anybody could have shown, it probably could have been Hawkeye. Only because of those.
Oh, are you there? Your voice, man. Hello? Hopefully he'll be back. I want to know what he was saying. Yeah, he'll be back. I'm sure of it. Let me think. Yeah, I'll wait for him to come back. But yeah, for me personally, it was disappointing that he was back.
Oh, there I am. Here I am.
There you are.
All
All
right.
right.
Sorry, guys. Didn't mean for that. I don't know what happened there. Yep. But it's, I just didn't. I think, if anything, it kind of reminds me of, like, when Thor and Loki in the first Thor movie, Thor and Loki were fighting in New
Yeah,
Mexico. Okay, I mean, nobody really rushed to aid, but Shield knew what was going on. Like, they showed up for it. I
right.
just feel like, somebody had to step in and show up or something, because there's no way, And I'm not saying that that takes me out of it. It doesn't. It's just like, well, yeah, sure, nobody's gonna check in on this. There's, but uh, you know, the fight in New Mexico in Thor, right? It
Yep.
didn't. It was a big fight, but it didn't really last that long. I mean, there was destruction, but it wasn't the way Nick Fury describes it in Avengers. He says that the town was leveled. It wasn't really so much leveled like the way that I feel like that's a bit of a strong word for, because then the rest of the fight takes place in Asgard. But still, I'm feeling like somebody should have caught wind of it. And then at the same time, when does this take place? That's
I
the question.
I don't know. Think
You
so.
know?
I have a feeling it takes place in current times.
Okay,
And,
so
and,
post
and,
blip.
and it seems pretty modern to me. It seems pretty modern to me. What, where do you think it takes place?
I I don't know, man. I mean, like I said, there's no we both know there's no reference to the overall MCU.
Right.
So really, this could be at any time. I don't. They didn't mention anything about the blip,
No.
snap, none of that. So it could have been at any time. Maybe Moon Knight's been around for a minute, and Nick Fury just hasn't maybe gotten around to getting his hands on him or something. I don't know. It's interesting. I just hope that whatever they decide to do in the future, even though I doubt now, since Oscar Isaac said, yeah, it's not going to be a season two. It's kind of like, well, darn. So okay, so you're just going to pop up in different movies, or you're going to get your own movie, and we'll kind of resolve it that way. I just feel like they have to. I just don't like like I said, I'm gonna go back to the point, and it just feels like it's redundant, but it's the truth. I don't like the 6 episodes because you limit yourself way too much. Like it's too big a story to tell in that short a time.
So how many episodes would you have preferred for Moon Knight?
10.
Okay.
At minimum, I'd say 8. At minimum.
Okay.
But I would have probably done 10. How about you?
Probably 8. Yeah, a nice balance between 6 and 8. 6 and 10. I think 8 is a good number. But 10 would have been cool.
Yeah. Just because like I there notice this. How did you feel about Layla becoming an avatar for
I
Tawari?
dug it. I liked it. What did
Yeah.
you? How did you feel about it?
I actually was a bit shocked a little bit
Really?
because I thought the thing that didn't make sense to me was the wings. Because then I'm thinking to myself, because I've read the Kane Chronicles, and that's how I got into Egyptian lore. And the wings reminded me of the goddess Isis. And I'm thinking,
Okay.
okay, maybe that's who is going to be who becomes our avatar in a way. I don't know. Horus is another big avatar for Carter Kane in the book.
Right.
So, and he gets like the eye, he becomes a hawk. He can. So that's what the wings were reminding me of. So I didn't really feel like the wings lined up with Tawaret. Maybe she could have been like, but I mean, what are you going to do? There wasn't that much close by water. So I mean, I guess that's like the only thing you could do. Maybe that's just looking into it too much. But I mean, I like the wings. I like the fit. The fit was sleek. I
Yep.
liked it.
Agreed. Now I
Yeah.
have a question. I'm not a comic book reader of Moon Knight or anything. Is
Mhm.
my Hempel a comic book character?
Is say that again?
Is my Hempel? I forget her name. My Hempel. Is she from a comic book?
Tawaret.
Yeah.
I'm not sure actually. I'm
Okay.
not sure.
Uh,
Actually, you know what? Let's look that up.
let's
Let's
look it
see.
up.
Well, we're going to is Tawaret in the Moon Knight comic?
I like that character. I really like that character.
I did too. She was kind of like a gentle giant, sort of, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. A fairly neutral figure in the show, Tawara takes on the role of guide in Moon Knight, explaining where Mark and Steven are, and excuse me, and encouraging them to right the scales. Although she makes no move to truly help them, she does say she was rooting for them, and seems sad when they appear to fail. And that's not what I need. I'm asking. Does Tawaret pull Hippo God appear in Marvel Comics? All right, let's see. This is cheatsheet.com. Marvel's Moon Knight episode 4 featured a jaw-dropping ending for Stephen Grant Mark Spector, the least of which was the reveal of another Egyptian god besides Khonshu and Amit, the Moon Knight Hippo God Tawaret. Surprised Marvel Cinematic Universe fans and Marvel Comics fans. Who is the mysterious god? Here's everything you need to know about the Ennead god. Does the Moon Knight Hippo god Tawaret appear in Marvel Comics? The MCU pulls most details from the Marvel Comics. However, the Moon Knight Hippo goddess Tawaret never appeared in Marvel Comics, TV shows, or movies. Okay, the Moon Knight comics collectively refer to Egyptian gods as the Ennead. They include Osiris, who's awesome, Set, who's crazy, Toth, wise man, Geb, Newt, Shu, Tefnut, Amun Ra, already, Anubis, great, Bast, lover, Bes, Horus, perfect, Khonshu, Ta, Neith, Ma'at, Sekhmet, and Sobek. However, Tawaret has never been a part of the lineup in the comics. You know what's interesting about this though?
What's that?
I Sobek is a crocodile god. So when I saw
Okay.
Amit, I was like, huh, are we gonna see Sobek at some point? Because it's kind of they're very similar. Now I don't remember if Sobek's a river god. I think he's a river god or something. But it just made me curious when I saw her pop up on screen. But did you catch the dynamic between her and Khonshu?
No. Was it like something?
like it's a very key line when she said he says, I only punish those who choose evil. And she
Okay.
says, um, the only thing that's different between us is that I stop evil before it even happens. So essentially, they're the same, but their motives are different.
So
Who would you?
it's kind of like Batman and Catwoman in a way.
Yeah, yeah. Ben, high five through the camera. High five. I like that. I like that. That's good. And you're right because Catwoman does seem to like walk that fine line and try to kind of tell Bruce, like, hey, it's okay to kill a few people here and there. And he's like, no, I will not. I will protect Rachel.
Trinity! Trinity! Okay, I have to ask. Side note.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have to ask.
No, go ahead.
Who's your favorite Batman?
What do I think of it?
No, who's your favorite Batman
My favorite
from the movie?
Batman.
Yeah.
Honestly, it might be it, is it it's not even really cliche to say. I've said it time and time again. I think now it's Pattinson.
Really?
Only because I'm gonna tell you why. Now I like Ben Affleck because he fits the physicality and he's brutal. But what I liked about it was that they really did play on when you Bruce is a dark guy overall. He's quiet, he's to himself, and he's really not the most social person.
No,
But
not.
he goes out of his way, although he's not really that social. He goes out of his way to try to combat crime, and I did like how Pattinson portrayed him. I really did. I felt the weight of him. I felt the emotion behind him. It's just like, man, it really felt like he was carrying this burden, and it's almost like he takes on a burden that no one asked him to take on, but you can't help but respect the nobility in him taking on the burden. Like, well, who else is going to do it? I mean, I have the means to. I have the money where I can make a tactical suit. I can make all kinds of gadgets and gizmos and weapons and upgrade my armor however I see fit. The context to relive the memories over and over again.
Yeah.
That that I think was was just beautiful storytelling because it's like, man, you really have to relive the pain of what you just saw, and you have to watch it over and over and over just to be able to figure out what's going on. It's like, dag, man, he's really tortured, and that's how
Yeah.
and he really plays it very well, and that's what I really loved about his performance. How about you?
You know what? This might sound cliche, but I'm a '90s kid. I have to say Keaton. Keaton is my favorite Batman.
Okay, tell me, tell
I
me.
think I feel like he plays Bruce Wayne excellent. He plays that persona Bruce Wayne really excellent.
Hmm.
Like a party goer, the fun thing you wouldn't think he's Batman, and but yet when he's Batman, he's not brutal. He's smart and usually a little detective work.
Hmm.
He looks cool. He has a great Batman voice. I didn't think he's a whole package, and I love Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne and Batman.
I probably just wasn't a fan of his Batmobile. Just too long.
Really?
It's like, why
Really?
is it so? It's like, why is it so long? That's what she said. But I'm just like, why? But I'm just like, well, I mean, it's kind of like, how are you maneuvering? There's a lot of jokes here, but it's just,
Uh,
how are you able to use this vehicle in a way that's sensible to drive? I don't know. That's why I like the Tumblr and I like Pattinson's. because that thing was a beast. And I mean, it was like watching a tiger stalking its prey in the dead of night. Like just the roar when it comes on, and you see Penguin's face, like, what is happening? And just and he's like, nope, I'm hopping in the car. We're getting out of here. Everybody scatter. Let's go. Dipping out, leave. And he just chasing him down. Man, I love that sequence. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Uh,
wait, wait, I love that sequence too. But Keaton's Batmobile, I would say, is the one that looks like a bat. More out of all of them.
yeah, that's true. I'll give you that. They played on it a little bit more. Actually, if you ever go to Atlanta at the Chick-fil-A headquarters, they actually have like a life-size replica of the Keaton Batmobile.
Nice.
Yeah, they have a life-size replica of it. It's really cool. And I think they actually have like a model of Keaton sitting in it. I could be, my memory might be wrong, but I do recall like they have the life-size version of that vehicle. And
Now
it's really cool to look at.
here's the thing.
Hmm.
Are we going to see that Batmobile in the Flash movie?
What Flash movie?
Funny.
Probably. Probably. I feel like more than likely we probably will. Just because I mean, like you can't have him suit up and then not see him
Right, right.
in his Batmobile. I think they'll bring it back for it. I personally just I don't know how this movie's gonna sit with audiences, man. I don't know.
I do have a question for you about this Flash movie.
Mhm.
You know, okay, you get real for a second, real talk. When they do press, they can't have Ezra promoting this movie. I think we can agree with that, right? They can't
Yeah, no.
have him. So do they focus the whole press thing about Michael Keaton returning as Batman?
Say that one. It was weird coming through. You said how long do you think we'll see Michael Keaton as Batman?
So do they focus the press on Michael Keaton? Does the whole ad marketing become about Michael Keaton coming back as Batman?
I think that's what they'll do. Um, I think what they're gonna, because he's caused so much trouble already. Warner Brothers knows like we can't put this. I They can't put it can't happen in the marketing.
Right.
People, because people already know what's going on. Uh, at the same time, I mean they might do it. They might have him in some. I don't think that they did reshoots. I just feel like that's stupid. The movie's already done. There's no way they're
So
going back to do it. And you heard
can
that
can
they
I
canceled the video game.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can I tell you what I think they should do?
Yeah, what's up?
Personally, drop it on HBO Max. They're not going to make the money back either way. They
That's a
drop
fair assessment.
they drop it on HBO Max, and then they drop Ezra from Flash.
I think you might be right, man.
I
Uh,
and no, I don't think they're going to get Grant Gustin because he's been Flash for 9 years by the time this movie comes out. I doubt he wants to continue to be Flash again in a whole nother movie.
it's just the thing is, man. Sometimes celebrities can get so caught up in I'm a celebrity, I can do what I want and face nothing. I mean, but bro, you've choked a woman, you've hurling chairs in clubs, you're going after people who you're staying with who they didn't have to let you stay with them at all. And you're wilding out at them, threatening to kill them and take their money. Like, what? It's too much. So no, I don't think I think you're right. I think that it will go to streaming. I don't think they're going to have it as a theatrical release, but I also don't think they're just going to let it sit on the shelf either. Um, they might not even put out a trailer for it. They may just say, you know what, Flash is going straight to HBO Max, and that'll be how they probably get some more subscribers, and that's what they'll do, and they'll settle for it with that, and then rethink of some plans of how to go moving forward.
Oh, you know what? I agree with almost everything you said. They will put out one more trailer, maybe two more, but they're going to have they'll have Michael Keaton all over that trailer. They'll make it all about Michael Keaton coming back.
Yeah, they'll have to cut it a certain way to be able to do that, because but then it becomes weird because it's like, well, you're marketing Michael Keaton, who's Batman, not Flash, and this is a Flash movie. It's Flashpoint, but this is the Flash. So
True.
how do it's I Warner Brothers
Uh,
is in a very tight spot with this, and yeah, man, it's I don't know, bro. I don't know.
yeah. God,
I don't know. I'll tell
anywho,
you.
they're not. I'm
I got a
sorry.
question for you. I got a question for
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
Would,
Fire away, my man.
would you have preferred? Speaking of Batman, since you brought Batman up, Moon Knight is kind of like the B version of Batman. And now with the end credit trailer, I mean not end credit, end credit trailer,
And
end
credit
credit scene.
scene. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
the end credit scene. You see Jake driving the limo and it has Spectre on the license plate, which is
Very
interesting
cool. Very cool.
because Grant's really the playboy, so it's interesting to see Spectre on the license plate. So I'm just wondering, would do you think this show could have benefited from going the route where, as opposed to doing the three personalities in his head, do you think that it probably would have benefited more if it was just him taking on different personas, like in the original comic, where it's like, okay, I'm Mark Spector here, and then all right, Stephen Grant here, and then listening to the streets and all what's going on, and maybe tie that in with his conflict with Harrow. Do you think that and him, driving around being Jake Lockley? Do you think that would have probably made the show elevated the show,
No.
or do you, no?
No. Because I'll tell you what, if that's the case, we wouldn't have gotten that excellent fifth episode. Because that fifth episode was all about the the sort of that emotional stuff Mark had to go through.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, no,
That it would have been a better Moonlight show, but I don't think it would have been a better TV show, if that makes sense.
So, do you think that Moon Knight is the appropriate title, or do you think they should have probably called it something? Or do you think they should have named it something else? Should it have been called Fist of Khonshu instead?
I don't know about that, but I wouldn't have changed the name.
I got you.
Maybe Mr. Knight, the Night Files, the
Night Files. All right.
the what's another one? The exploration of the night. I don't know. My
Night of the
coming
Living
up,
Moon.
Night of the Living me myself and Khonshu. That might be a good name.
Mm. Oh,
Uh, Pinky, I know they personally from making my YouTube channel. Picking a name of a show is very difficult.
yeah, bro. I feel you. It took a while for me to come up with a name, and I was like, jeez. So it's like, all right, I had a name for my YouTube channel, but then it was like, what am I gonna name the podcast? It's like, you know what? I could tie it back to, I could make it work. Wolves of Midnight. I'm like, that works.
Yeah,
That works.
I like your title. I like that.
Thank you, sir. And I this weekly geekdom. I was telling somebody at work about it. I said, yeah, I'm shooting a show later with a friend of mine. They're like, oh yeah, what's it called? I said, the weekly geekdom. And I felt like such a expert, if you will. Like we're with the Daily Bugle or something, and it's like this is a certain section where we put all the nerds here. Let's talk some geek stuff, man. And this I can't say it enough. This is the perfect time. You're gonna hear this every week, ladies and gentlemen. Perfect time to be a movie fan. Perfect time to be a fan of TV, and it is the absolute perfect time to be a geek. You have to love it, 100%.
And that's why I came up with the title. Yeah, I knew it was this incorporate everything we love to talk
Mm-hmm.
about.
Did you like how do you feel about the ties now to Black Panther with the afterlife?
I'm more curious about to see what the movie is about before I'm curious about the ties. I think Black Panther, the movie, Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, I think that's going to be difficult to pull off for a couple of reasons. What about you?
I'm all right. I'm gonna give you a little bit of backstory. So I personally, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am saying this, and I care not. I don't. I believe that Black Panther, every award that it won, it absolutely deserved. But the nomination for Best Picture, no, I don't think so. I don't think it should have been the first comic book movie to do it. I say to this day, in my heart, it should have been Logan. Logan
Thank
is a
you, thank
perfect
you,
movie.
thank you. That
It,
that
it it's
that
perfect.
that's my real friends, my man. That's my real friends.
I'm
Yeah,
telling
I
you, no,
feel the same
seriously,
way.
man, because Logan just it changed the game. Like it changed. It really changed the game. And me being a fan of westerns and loving the fact that they took those elements from westerns and made this character study with just these three X-23, Logan, Professor X, and you're really seeing like the weight of what they're going through in this journey they have to go on, and like having to deal with fighting demons of your past and your younger self. And it's just like that end when she turns that cross to an X.
Oh,
It's just what? Like, come on. Yeah, Ben, the emotion. When I tell you I sat in that theater, there were six of us who went to go see it. Just me and a bunch of my homeboys. Not There was not a dry eye at all. Not one eye was dry. I enjoyed Black Panther. Do not get me wrong. Some of the shots were strange. That first fight scene, I you can't really see that well, so it's like, well, what's happening? Some of the CGI could have been tuned up just a little bit, but I just don't see Logan, man. Like, come on,
and
no.
I'm sorry, Patrick Stewart and
Mhm.
Hugh Jackman, especially Patrick Stewart, were robbed.
Yes, yes, absolutely,
Awful right.
absolutely wrong.
Oh my,
I
that one scene at the farmhouse when Logan is holding uh, Professor X in his arms. That gets me every
every
fucking time, my man. Every time.
every time, and you're looking at yourself like I caused this. Like I didn't cause this, but I caused this. It's just it's so. And then they're only there. They're just trying to keep the family safe. They weren't even trying to bring trouble. They weren't trying to start anything. And then the Reavers show up. Don Holbert's character, I forget his name, but they show up and they're just like wrecking shop. And it's like, man, you watch this family get obliterated. Charles doesn't make it out, and you're just like, man, this is dire. What are they gonna do? And you're just watching one of your a character you've grown with for so long, for 17 years, and his end. I'm like, that's perfect. I don't need another Logan movie. I don't. I don't need him popping up. I don't need it. That right there, that was the definitive ending, and it was perfect. And I best adapted screenplay, yes, that's a great award to win, no doubt about it. But best picture should have been on the table for that movie. I will
Uh,
defend it, and I will say it forever. Now,
uh,
to get to the point of Black Panther, Wakanda Forever is going to be a very emotional movie.
yeah, agreed.
Chadwick Boseman was just embodied T'Challa. Now, R.I.P. to him. I wish we could have gotten another movie with him, because I really think that there's a lot more to explore with T'Challa's character. Because in the comics, he's one of the smartest individuals up. He's up there with Reed Richards. Like, it's intelligence. It's ridiculous. He invents his own things, builds his own. Like, that's what I wanted to see more of in this one too. And he does that also with his kingly duties. And I wanted to see, well, are they going to have eventually bring in Storm and how that relationship comes out? But I'm just wondering, and I think if I remember correctly, they did say M'Baku was supposed to be the one to take up the mantle.
Yes, I think that I don't know if it's been confirmed, but that's one that been talked about.
Yeah. Do you think that who do you think
I
if
know
who do you think should do it actually?
in universe right now,
Hmm.
in Barker. I don't see anybody else who could have done it. Maybe that what is her name? Nakia? Nakia?
Nakia, yeah, she
But
was. I wouldn't have minded it.
yeah, I know this isn't popular. I don't think it should have been Shuri. She's too young and she's not a fighter.
I agree. I don't think it should have been. I don't think it should be Shuri either.
And I don't
But
think it should be and I don't think it should be Killmonger. He's done too much bad, in my
leave,
opinion.
yeah, leave him dead.
You know, M'Baku, I don't know. What about you? Who
I
do
think
you think?
M'Baku, he exudes a strength, not just physically but emotionally. I think he has that way to rally people together.
Right.
Uh, I just, but I do also have to say this though. I thought about it more. They said, should they recast? Should they, uh, just move on? I feel like they could have recasted.
Yeah.
I think they could. I think they could have. I just think that because Black Panther had such a large cultural footprint that people couldn't separate
Yeah.
Chad, and it's like it wouldn't be that much different. It's not like they were. It's not like that would be something new to them. We all know what happened with Iron Man.
Right.
Rhodey got replaced. Terrence Howard was him at first, and then they put Don Cheadle in.
Right.
Incredible Hulk. Edward Norton. Now it's Mark Ruffalo. So it's not. It's not that. It wouldn't be that hard to recast, and I get that they wanted to do it to honor him, but I just feel like there's so many T'Challa stories, man.
Let me ask you.
Hmm.
The movie opens up. Then the movie opens up at his funeral with everybody paying tribute to T'Challa.
Do I think the movie's gonna open like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it might. I think it will. I think if I think they'll open with that. Actually, you know what? I'll go as far as this. Before the movie even starts, there may be a Chadwick tribute video. They may
But
do.
that's good for the actor. I'm talking about the character. Then the movie opens up with a funeral for the character.
Oh, I know I just said yeah, but I'm thinking about it now. I'm trying to let it sink in. The question is, how do you do it? Do they do it closed? If they do it, it might be like closed casket. So they might. It wouldn't surprise me if they did, and then afterwards they pass on the mantle, or maybe the whole
Right.
movie is trying to decide who's worthy of the mantle. Maybe that's the whole movie, and who's like the greatest threat, and whoever really emerges as a true leader of Wakanda, somebody that people can get behind. I think that's how that'll go down. It might be like a. I think it's gonna have a lot of political warfare elements behind it too. I think we're gonna explore more Wakanda politics in this one.
But I think the movie opens at the funeral and everybody pays tribute to that character.
Yeah.
But in reality, everyone is paying tribute to Chadwick. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
No, yeah, I definitely agree. I just feel like there's going to be. I just feel like there's going to be some type of tribute outside of just that in the story. I think they're going to do something else too. I don't know, kind of like what they did with for Stan Lee.
I can tell you what they're going to do. At the
Yeah,
end of the movie, there's a
yeah,
memorable. This movie was made for Chadwick Boseman.
yeah.
That's what they're going to do.
I mean, I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't excited to see this movie.
Yeah, me too.
Uh, and I just really want to, because Ryan Coogler is such a capable director and he can bring that emotion out of his actors.
Yep.
I just really feel like this is going to be an emotionally driven movie. And you know what? And it comes out at a perfect time. December. You know why?
Yep.
That's like Oscar season.
Yep.
So, could we see like could we see some legendary performances? I think so. Do I know who?
Hopefully,
I
hopefully.
don't know. But I'm excited, man. I really am. But I just had to let that be known at the beginning.
Yeah.
Logan, bro.
Oh
Logan.
man, I knew there was a reason why we were friends. I knew there had to be a reason. Before we wrap up, there's a couple of trailers I want to talk about real quick.
Oh,
We got the Obi-Wan trailer, and we got the um, what is it?
Cobra Kai.
Uh, Cobra Kai and the Game of Thrones trailer. How
Uh,
many of these have you seen?
I've only watched the Obi-Wan one so far. Cobra,
Okay.
Cobra Kai is a show I want to get into, and Game of Thrones is a show I have to finish. But I will gladly watch that House of the Dragon trailer because I
House of
know it.
the Dragon. Thank you. Thank you.
I do want to see that. But I remember, but before we launched the show today, you asked me about how I felt. Even though knowing nothing, going in blind, knowing nothing about Star Wars, really, how I felt about seeing that trailer.
Yes, please tell me. I'm curious to hear as a Star Wars virgin, what did you think about this trailer coming out? And then it isn't something that wants to make you pop your cherry on this show.
Oh man, it's happening. I tell you what, man, I I was locked in. I was interested. I
Okay?
was interested. I really liked the whatever city they're in, and it's just dark. When you see like the lights from the buildings, I was like, "Oh,
Yeah,
that's a
yep,
cool shot." I like that. Um, the Inquisitors, from what I understand, the lead Inquisitor, she looks badass,
yep,
definitely. Joel, the conversation between Joel Edgerton and Ewan McGregor. Now,
yep.
I don't know what that line was about, but I definitely enjoyed it because I'm like, there's something there. Like, there's a reason behind that, and
So,
hearing people talk.
hold on for a second. I'm
What?
so curious here. You've never
Mhm.
seen any of the movies. I'm guessing you've never seen any of the shows, right?
Nope. Nope.
Do you know Do you know anything about Star Wars? Anything?
I know. I know. I know. I know. I know Padme. Anakin. Who else? I mean, I know all the characters. I know characters' names. As far as plot points, I know there's the Empire versus what is the Empire versus the Jedi. I know it's the Sith. I know
Yeah,
it's Sith versus Jedi, but the
yeah, yeah.
Empire is like who is the Empire like really going against? Is it just like
The
the rest of
rebel,
the galaxy?
the rebel alliance, the
The Rebel
rebel
Alliance.
alliance. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So does the Rebel Alliance consist of just Jedi, or is it all, uh, or is it
It's
really
more,
more like
it's a good side. It's a light side and it's a dark side. For
okay,
that.
okay.
And,
I mean,
and I'm sorry. I'm
mhm.
assuming you know who Darth Vader is, right? You
Oh,
know that
I've
character?
I've been told that I sound like Vader at times. I've been told that. So
Okay.
so yeah, I know of Vader,
Okay.
which is I'm glad you brought that up because I thought that was the most badass part of that trailer. They played it so well. Like whatever that box they attached to him is, I guess that's maybe it's part of like his life force or something. But when they attached it to him, and then you just hear his breathing. And I'm just like, that is so cool.
Oh,
Just to like,
dude.
you didn't even have
Dude.
to. You didn't have to do anything else. That's how
You
you wrap it up.
you know what? We're going to do a rewatch as a channel. You, me, and friend Don. We're going to do a rewatch because I'm dying to hear your thoughts and opinions on this whole franchise. It's a
I'm,
lot of movies, man. It's a lot of movies. But
no
I got
problem.
to hear your thoughts, man. I got to hear your thoughts.
Look, I watch the Lord of the Rings extended versions explicitly. So this this will be a new challenge, a new mountain. But I'm glad I will be willing to take on this beast, if you will.
Yeah. We'll talk about it because then we're going to make this happen. We're going to do it for the channel.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that.
I'm excited, man. The more I think about it, the more it's okay. So the other day on the Campion on John Campion's show, I know
Yeah.
Ray said that Lord of the Rings was like his Star Wars. And ever since he said that, I just keep wondering to myself, man, how big is Star Wars? I have to dump in. Now I'm really curious more than ever. Cause when I was a kid, like I told you before, anything Star Wars related, I was like, man, I want no parts. I want no parts. I don't know why. I can't explain. I really just
Dude,
don't know why.
I get it, but man,
Yeah.
you know what? We're going to convert you. We're going to convert you into being a genuine Star Wars fan. It's my life mission now. We're going to do it, and we're going to record it, and it's going to be awesome.
Let's do it. I'm here for it. I'm excited. I'm actually excited. I've never seen any of these. I'm hyped for this. Let's watch it. I'm gonna do a Jurassic Park rewatch. Cause I was watching some interviews the other day and it really warmed my heart. I'm like, I'm getting hyped just watching them. I could just see the movies in my head, but I can't help but sit through them and love them. But nah, man, I'm excited to dive into these. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's
Yeah.
see.
All right, man. I think you have a movie to get to, right? Am I right? You're going to a movie soon?
I am going to dive into the multiverse where madness takes place and stranger things have happened under doctorly orders. Yes, I just did all of that. But I'm excited to see it. Tonight, 8 o'clock. Got my tickets. Gonna go take
Awesome.
off and see what goes down, and I will give you my non-spoilery thoughts when I finish. I'm probably gonna do like a quick short, like quick. I'll probably make like a quick short when I come out of the theater, and I'll pull like a video up later on
Awesome.
tonight. Yeah, but
And and
mhm.
you guys made them believe it. When everybody on the channel has seen this, we'll make a spoiler review as our channel and we'll get into it because man, I think we're going to have lots to say about this damn movie.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a lot to talk about. Sam Raimi, Benedict, and Elizabeth Olsen. Wong is back. Chiwetel Ejiofor, the Illuminati, Living Tribunal, which I actually said to somebody the other day before I even found out that you actually see the tribunal in a TV spot. I'm like, I said, there's no way they're going to do the Living Tribunal. He's too powerful, and apparently he's in the trailer. I'm like, all right, so he's in the movie. Let's see how this goes down. So, all right,
Yeah, I can't wait
I'm
to hear your thoughts. All right,
yeah,
man.
man.
Tell everyone where they can find you.
All right, guys, you can find me on my YouTube channel, The Midnight Cinema, my podcast, Wolves of Midnight. You can find it on Spotify, Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, Podcast, and eventually we will be expanding to Apple Podcasts. You can find me on Twitter at The Outlawed Mime and Instagram at The Midnight Cinema 41. Feel free to ask me questions about movies. We can talk trivia. Just hit me up, say hello. I'm friendly, won't bite, but I will howl. Howl! Let's do this, man.
Nice. And you can find me right here on the Multiverse of Geekdom every Wednesday on Jedi Academy, every Friday on Weekly Geekdom, and every Sunday on Unwind with Ben. And I think that, oh, and you can find me on the other YouTube channel, the Northern Entertainment Group, every Tuesday on Rewind the Tape, and every Saturday on the Northern Countdown. You can also find me at my Twitter, Ben_Rainer. Follow me there. I have a big announcement coming, so follow me there. And until next week, this is a Weekly Geekdom. Signing off.
Oh
Bye.
yeah.